Yeah.
Now, how do you see young people balancing activism and constructive engagement with institutions to make real change? Sababu wanasema kwamba vijana, we need to make real change in the country, but how do they balance the in-betweens?
I think that is where now the the issue now will be that, like I just mentioned, are Kenyans ready to also elect young people who have been fighting for them? And is activism ideally the way to go? Because there's a very fine line between activism and leadership, and they sometimes they go hand in hand, sometimes they go separate ways. I think that will be the defining moment, because activism at the ballot has to be felt, because waking up that morning, going to cast your vote, there has to be something that makes you do that. And that is where the activism aspect comes out. And now knowing what kind of leader that you want and what kind of leader that you will be taking into office, that is where now the leadership aspect comes. So we can be very emotional when we are making political decisions, but let's also not forget our sanity as we are making political decisions, especially at the ballot, now that we are nearing that season. And I think that's something that we really need to discuss as a generation, because activism is very important. It is that activism that led us not to have the finance bill of 2024. So activism is very necessary. When we were student leaders, we began as very serious activists. And I believe that a stroke of DNA of activism is still in us. And that is what propels us in politics. But let's also not leave our sanity at home. Leadership is very critical. We cannot run our country on emotions. It has to be balanced. We have to be very, very sane and sober when we are running this country. It's a matter of life and death.